this would be a good one to come to. All right, now I want to bring up my friend Jenni G. Come on up. All right, so...
Did you do that or ChatGPT?
I did that.
You did?
I did it, yeah.
Good job.
I made that on my own.
Good job.
So, Jenni, I don't know if you knew this, but every single one of those for sale signs right there represents an active listing that you have right now.
14.
Oh, this one's going to be at like 3 o'clock today.
3 o'clock today. Okay. Well, all right.
Congratulations.
So, 16 active listings right now.
Correct.
How in the world have you generated 16 active listings?
Well, was that? Do tell.
Yeah.
So-
And I think 6 or 7 of those listings came last week, the week right after you got back from it was supposed to be a 10-day trip that turned into like 14 days of being 18 days of being gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of all of the chaos in flights.
Well, little side note here real quick. I gained 5 or 6 coming back from Greece.
Yeah.
And only grabbed those because Tom was so kind to go grab the house keys and meet the sellers for me because I wasn't back yet. So thank you.
Way to go. Thank you.
But I think most of you guys know, and if you don't, then I apologize, but my business is completely organic. I grew up in this area, and I've worked in the hospitality industry in this area. And those of you that don't, and you say, okay, well, you had a job where you were very social. I'm social everywhere I go. I talk to everybody everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the same thing that, luckily, when I was growing up, there was no cameras around or phones, but very luckily, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. But it's the same whether there's cameras or phones, you know, around or not.
Yeah.
People are always watching and listening, and I can't stress how important relationships are with people that you meet and just bringing them value. I constantly am just trying to see how I can help someone unreal estate related.
Yeah,
and
to the point where she says organically, and she talks to everyone. When when a bunch of us went out to Dave Costella's son's band concert in Delray Beach, she had invited 3 people that she met tubing that day, right?
Yeah.
She met them tubing on where were you tubing at?
in the Jupiter Inlet.
In the Jupiter Inlet, and she invited them to come to the concert that night, and they showed up. So, you talk to everyone.
Everywhere I go. I mean, if I'm in line at Publix, I'm talking to someone. But if you hear somebody that needs something, source it for them. Provide them value, and then they're going to remember you for whatever reason. If you provided them value, you did a kind gesture, you paid it forward, you bought their cup of coffee, just stuff like that. It always comes back. It's like karma.
So, staying in contact with people then can probably be a little bit challenging. How do you manage to do that to create a pipeline that allowed you to have 16 active listings?
Yeah, so that's what's beautiful about social media. I love when someone will go and post, oh, it's my anniversary, happy anniversary to my beautiful wife or my amazing husband. We have this amazing thing called Amazon, same-day delivery.
Yeah, she did this for me. I thought it was so cool.
It was like a popcorn movie night package or something. But it's like you can see it's someone's birthday. You can see it's an anniversary. Or they just celebrated their kid's first day of school. Send them a lunchbox. And you can sit here and say, okay, well, I'm new and I don't have the money to spend yet. A handwritten note goes a long way. A long way. Mm-hmm. I'm a note person. I leave notes everywhere for everybody.
Or if you don't have the best handwriting and you don't like that, but you still want it to look like you handwrote it, postable.com is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yep. And I started doing postable. I sent one out last week to a friend that's in Jacksonville, and it handwrites it for you. You could do different writing fonts, and I sent one. Actually, we're going to see him today, one of the head pros at Coral Springs Country Club, and I had you can customize these cards, right? So they stamp them, mail it for you. You just type in what you want. There's always a discount code online if you Google. And we had a golf tournament. It was 10 years ago now, and the losing team had to wear the hats or the shirts from the winning team. So naturally, I'm playing with a bunch of guys. So the head pro from Coral Springs Country Club I was playing against, He had to wear my shirt.
He had to wear your shirt.
And none of you guys have ever seen me in a t-shirt because I don't wear t-shirts. I wear tops, right? So I put that shirt on the front of his postable birthday card. And he texted me, he goes, Jenny, I will never forget this. This is the best birthday card I ever received. His next birthday, he's going to think of me.
Yeah.
When he sees a peach golf shirt, he's going to think of me.
Yeah.
You know, it's just fun gestures like that to let people know that you're thinking about them.
That is awesome.
Just genuine.
All right, so what are you doing like every single day in order to in order to keep things going?
There's a lot. There's a lot to keep things going. You have to keep the momentum forward, moving forward. Our interview, which I think was over a year ago now,
was, yeah.
Momentum is my favorite word. You lose momentum, you lose everything. So you take that momentum when you have that energy going and you just keep stacking and building from it. What I do every day is remind myself of, you know, we always strive for more, and we always want more, but it's important to take a deep breath and say, look how far I've come. Like, okay, I'm like, oh gosh, I got another listing. And it's like, stop. You have 16 listings right now. That's 16 amazing
Is this the most
opportunities.
you've had at one time?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And
But the market's slow, right? I mean, nobody can do that.
slow if you overprice it.
Yeah.
And it's great. And with that being said, it's so great what you guys are providing. We're providing in the market center because the new listings, the sellers are actually hearing what we have to say and saying like, listen, let's not put a 6 in front of it. Let's put a 5 in front of it, and I will get you a 6 in front of
So
it.
you use the stats that we provide.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And have you found that by doing that, it makes that conversation more logical for them and less emotional?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And everyone's emotionally attached. A lot of these people treat their homes like it's their kids, you know?
Yeah.
And it's when you put the numbers in front of them, numbers don't lie.
Well, you know, that's another thing. You said people are attached to it. And one of the things that I've always been taught, or I was taught myself, and I go back and teach, is that when you are in there in that listing presentation, you have to use different language. So you don't call it their home anymore, you call it their house. Mm-hmm. Because home is something you make together. House is something that is it's just a physical presence.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. If I can add one more thing.
Please.
So I don't know how many of you are friends of mine on Facebook, but I had a post yesterday, and I definitely wanted to share. I'm going to share the story in the class, but we'll share it now. I still do rentals. Like, I'll sell an igloo to an Eskimo.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's this young lady, we closed, was it yesterday? 2 days ago. She was a buyer. I met her 4 or 5 years ago, I don't even remember. And she was a connect off of Facebook of a friend of a friend. She was in her early 20s. And she's had some challenges in life. Her father was murdered. Her mom is non-existent. Well, when she is, she's not a great person.
Yeah.
And she says, can you help me with a rental? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take any business. It was in the beginning. And I went to the golf course to bartend on the weekend, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, Jenny, I hear you're working with my niece. I said, yeah. And he goes, don't waste your time. She's a case, and you can't deal with her. Don't waste your time. And I was like, game on. I got this. So I got her a rental. That first time she said, I eventually want to own. What do I need to do? I gave her a whole checklist. She came back a year later. She said, my credit's fixed. I have 60 grand in the bank.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, right?
She's a case. A case of success, yes.
Yeah, a case.
Not done by anybody.
She crushed it. So we go to get her pre-approved, and she had just switched over to a commission-based salary, which you have to have for now 2 years. So she did everything she was told to do, and now she's not approved again. So got her another rental, put it in. So fast forward, long story short, she worked super hard, and 3 rentals later, we just closed on her first home purchase with Supreme Lending and the Hometown Heroes. Side note, we had a clear to close like up teen weeks before. She was like, I'm not ready yet. I gotta, finish out my rental. But
Yeah.
so, it just goes to show, guys, like, don't be too good for this property or that property you're doing a rental. And that's the relationships you build. This girl has called me over the years for her boyfriend problems. I'm like her big sister that she never had. And, you know, yesterday she was just like, I love you so much. I'm like, I love you too. I'm always going to be here for you. So,
Well, you see, that's one of the things, like, we don't know what people are going through outside of the individual conversation that we have with them. And you got to kind of experience that from a little bit different perspective because you met other people who knew her and they gave you their story about her. And you ended up getting to become somebody who believed in her when other people in her life didn't.
Correct. And the listing that's going up today is her best friend who's selling her boyfriend's dad's house. And then next week's going to be her dad's house. And then they're going to sell theirs. So because I decided not to say no to a rental for major transactions from that. So and by all means, I'm not tooting my horn, guys. This is just to be a lesson learned. If you're saying like rentals are not, it's too much work, it's this and that. A $600 check just turned into probably $50,000, $60,000.
Yeah.
So
Good. All right, so if there's one last piece of advice that you give to everyone, what would it be?
don't quit, keep pushing. And if you need help, ask for it. Don't assume, ask. We're in the most amazing market center office brokerage that you can ever ask for. Proof that they have our backs, right, Mara? And we're all here to help. So don't assume. A lot of changes are going on. Ask a seasoned agent, and we're always happy to help.
I'm so freaking proud of you. Way to go. Good job.